Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is sponsored by Skylum, the creators of Luminar Neo. But as always, this will be a fully independent review from yours truly. Since I started practicing photography, I've really stuck with Adobe software like Bridge, Photoshop, and so forth. Skylum reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in trying out Luminar Neo. Well, I'm really glad that I said yes because I've been having so much fun exploring the software. One really cool thing about Luminar Neo is that it could be your one-stop shop for photo editing software if you wanted it to be. It has a cataloging section similar to Adobe's Bridge software, making it easy to sort through your files and edit your raw images. It even includes options for batch editing, which can save you so much time if you need to consistently edit a lot of photos. Luminar Neo takes advantage of artificial intelligence algorithms to analyze your images and allows you to make quick yet dramatic edits to your images. Because you'll be utilizing AI technology, the learning curve to this software is extremely quick. With just a few tutorial videos, you'll be well on your way to making professional grade edits very quickly with Luminar Neo. If you're familiar with Photoshop, you'll feel right at home inside Luminar Neo's Develop Raw menu. Here you'll find camera color profiles as well as Adobe's or Luminar's standard color profiles. As we scroll down, we find the light section with our exposure, smart contrast, highlights, and shadow sliders, very similar to Photoshop. Scroll down further and we find the blacks and whites. Pretty self-explanatory here. You've got a black and a white slider, again, just like Photoshop. We also have a curves, color, sharpness, noise reduction, optics, and transform section, all very similar to Adobe's editing software, which is great. All the basics of photo editing are right here. The other raw editing tool Luminar provides you with is Noiseless AI Raw. It's important to note that once you make changes with any of the other tools, these raw tools go away, but are still always accessible by clicking the Edits tab, which is another great feature about Luminar Neo. It works in layers, so you can always go back, re-edit if you want to, even with the raw tools, so it's great that Luminar is using layers. Noiseless AI Raw will analyze your image and make recommendations on one of 3 levels of noise reduction that you can choose from. You then have luminosity denoise, color denoise, details, and sharpness sliders for further customization to your noise reduction profiles. Now remember, Luminar's Develop Raw and Noiseless Raw tools are your 2 raw tools, so I suggest you tweak these 2 tools first, then move on to the rest of Luminar's AI tools. If you want extremely quick, yet surprisingly effective edits, look no further than the Enhance menu. Here you'll find 2 sliders, an Accent slider and a Sky Enhancer slider. Accent is really a one slider fixes all approach to editing. This is why I say it's very quick, and it's insanely quick. You literally just slide the slider up and watch your image come alive. Because you're utilizing AI software, it can be surprisingly effective using literally just this one tool to really get your images to just pop. You also have the Sky Enhancer slider, which effectively allows you to do the same thing to the sky if it's a landscape image. Again, it's a one-stop shop for making your images pop, but I think you'll be surprised at the results that can actually be achieved. Next up is what Luminar is known for, and it does it insanely well, and that is sky replacement. You have a bunch of different sky templates to choose from, and an ever-growing set of packs that can be purchased from Luminar's website if you want even more options to choose from. The really cool thing about Luminar's approach to sky replacement is that it does a really good job of relighting the scene based on what sky you select. Now listen, I know some photographers don't agree with composite photography like this. I understand why people feel that way, and that's totally valid. But for others, myself included, it's a very fun, creative way to enjoy photography, so there's always more than one way to skin a cat, as they say. We have a sky selection tab here. This is where you select the actual sky you want to use, and then you have a sky orientation menu with horizon, vertical, and horizontal position sliders, allowing you to fully adjust the sky position and even flip it if needed. Down below, we have a mask refinement menu with global, close gaps, and fixed detail sliders. These allow you to make fine tweaks to where the mask meets the real image, so you can very easily blend it together. You then have a scene relighting menu containing a relight strength, relight saturation, and relight human sliders, allowing you to tweak the relighting elements of your image. We also have a reflection menu with 2 simple sliders, reflection amount and water blur. These allow you to adjust the reflection in your image. Another really cool part of using the AI software, again, is that it can so accurately analyze the scene and even add reflections to your sky replacement. But as with all AI software, sometimes you need to tweak it just a little bit afterwards, so this allows you to do that very quickly and very easily. One last menu we have here under Sky AI is the Sky Adjustments. We have a defocus, grain, atmospheric haze, warmth, and brightness slider, here again allowing us to make those final little adjustments to the sky to really blend it into your image seamlessly. Now you'll notice that since we've made changes to our raw file, the noiseless raw now says noiseless AI. So you can still use it, but you'll get better results if you use noiseless raw, which you can still access by clicking the Edits tab in the upper right hand corner of your screen, since Luminar works in layers. And thank you so much, Skylum. We love working in layers because it means that we can go back and fix things if we need to. You also will have Sharp AI. This is where your sharpening tools are located. So if you have any issues with softness or motion blur, you can address them very easily with Sharpness AI. Similar to noiseless raw, you can choose from 3 levels of sharpness adjustment. Now you may have noticed that little masking tab in all the menus, and that's because Mask AI is built into all of the menus now. So you can simply click the masking tab now, and you will see your tools for manual masking. But if you go down to Mask AI and just click it, you'll see this really cool animation start happening, and that means Luminar is analyzing the scene for you, and you will see when it finishes all of the selections it has found for you. And you'll be amazed at how accurate this approach can be. Of course, AI technology is not 100% accurate all the time, so you can of course go in, manually tweak the masks as needed. Mask AI is one of the most powerful elements to this software, so try to familiarize yourself with it because it's very beneficial for your editing skills. You can select one or more masks at a time and then simply click back to the adjustments, and those changes will only be applied to the masked areas you selected previously. Now, one thing that's worth noting with Luminar's layered approach to editing, when you open your menus and you start to make changes, you have just started creating a layer. When you then close that menu, it finishes that layer, and the next time you open another menu, a new layer begins. All these layers are accessible and modifiable from the Edits tab in the upper right hand corner at any time. Okay guys, now I want to jump right into Luminar with you. I have 4 images that I've selected, and I want to show you just how easy it is to make dramatic yet realistic looking edits with this software. So let's start with this picture here of my girlfriend. So we've got mountain behind her, kind of blowing out sky as you see. So let me show you what I would do here. So again, like I say, the first thing I would do is mess with my raw tools. So let's go into, I wouldn't mess with noiseless raw because there's really not a lot of noise here. So develop raw, I might mess with a little smart contrast, just a little bit. And maybe I'll pull the shadows up just a hair, but we're not going to do a lot here. We've made very small little changes, okay? But let's go in to Enhance, and let's start there. Let's just bring up that accent slider just a little bit, and that's going to give us just a little bit of color, okay? And already you're starting to see some changes happening here. But let's make the real big change, Sky AI. Let's go ahead and change that to a really dramatic looking nice sky in real time. And there we go. And look how seamlessly that really patched that in. Now there is a small little gap up above the mountain here that we'll have to fix, but we'll get to that in a second. So like I said earlier in the video, we're going to go down to the mask refinement here, and let's just close those gaps in. And as you see, it just closes that gap right in and fixes that mask for us. And nice, that's really good. I'm happy with that. Super quick. So already we're seeing some pretty dramatic changes here, but as we notice, my girlfriend is backlit just a little bit, and one cool thing that I really wanted to highlight for you guys is the relight section. If we go to relight here, this will allow us to kind of change the lighting of the image, if you will. So what I can do here is brightness near. So now you're going to see that I can actually change the lighting pretty dramatically of my girlfriend with just this little slider here. So really nice that I can do that. And again, you can change the depth of it if you want to, and how far that it would affect the image. So I'm pretty happy here. And as you can see, we're starting to see some really big differences here, but we're not done yet. We're also going to go to another part that I really like to use, is the landscape section for an image like this. Now, I wouldn't want to apply this to my girlfriend, but we do want to do this to maybe the mountains or the foliage, right? So this is where we'll use the masking tool, and we'll do Mask AI. Now again, you see this really cool little animation kick in, and I think that's really cool. I love seeing that. But what's happening right now is Luminar Neo is actually analyzing the scene, and you're going to see a bunch of little things pop up based on what subjects it thinks that it found. So hopefully we're hoping it's going to find the trees and the mountains here. So we give it a couple of seconds. Again, I'm not speeding up this at all. I want you to see how fast this program really does work. So it's analyzing now, should be done in just a couple of seconds. And there we go. So as you can see, it's got my girlfriend, the human, the sky, the flora, the mountains. So we're going to select the mountains and natural ground. And then if you go right over here, you'll see the mask has been applied for us. So it does miss the smoke over here, so if I wanted to just refine that a little bit, I would just go to my Mask AI here, go to Brush, and I would just paint that in just a little bit, just to fix it a little hair there. And then we're good to go. I click Adjustments, and I can make the changes that I want. We can dehaze, we can shift it over to that more of a golden hour look if we want, and we can even do the foliage enhancer, which then allows us to kind of mess with the color of the green that we get from the hue of our foliage. But with just a couple slides there, a couple of minutes of editing, look at the massive difference that we've now made to this image. Here's the beginning, here's the edit. And I mean, that's pretty impressive for doing an edit that quickly. So that's one image. Let's go back and check out some more. Let's check out the one with the water here, because I wanted to show you how effectively we can actually edit the reflections here. So let's go to the Edit tab, and now we're into the image with my water here, and we're going to actually change the sky out first. So let's get a really cool one. Let's get sunset clouds. Let's go with this one. This one's always crazy. We're going to put this in here. Again, you can purchase more packs and get all kinds of different landscapes, sunsets, whatever type of sky replacements you want. But as you can see here, it is affecting the reflection of my water. And that's one of the really cool things that really sells the realism of the sky replacement here. And effectively, how quick did that just happen? I mean, look at this. The mask is perfect. The trees are perfect. I mean, that would have taken so long to get done manually in Photoshop. I did it in seconds. Now, you can tweak the scene relighting if you want to. You can tweak the relighting saturation. There's all kinds of differences you can make. That's really up to you. You can close the gaps if you need to refine the mask at all, but it came out literally perfect here. So again, I would go to Enhance, because there's our one-stop shop to make it pop. And I don't need to do any sky enhancement here, but take a look at, as I go, again, go to Edit if you want to go back, and you can go to any of your tabs here. And when I go to sky, if I wanted to actually change it, which I didn't need to, but say I want to move it, see how it actually affects the reflection? It's literally affecting the way the lighting is working, and that is what is going to sell this image to people. People aren't even going to know that you did this if you do this right. So again, take a look at that. Here's what we started with. Here's what we got. Literally seconds of editing. Very, very cool. Let's go back. All right, let's check out this one. This is going to challenge the mask a lot more, because one thing, we've got these little leaves here that were kind of falling out of the tree. So that's going to be very difficult for this software to deal with, as well as all these branches. So let's just see how well it can actually do. So let's go to the sky. Let's do it. Let's do sunset again. Make it crazy. Click it in. Again, not going to speed up the video at all, and boom, it's just dropped in there. And let's take a look at how well this did at masking. It did phenomenally well. I mean, look at this. The mask is perfect on this tree, and that is extremely difficult to do. I would have taken me so much time. Look how fast that just happened. Again, let's make some quick changes here. We're going to take the accent slider, slide it up. It's going to make it pop. We're going to go down to the landscape section here, give it a little dehaze. We could shift over to golden hour if you want to. Always looks nice. Foliage enhancement allows me to kind of mess with the hue of that grass. And again, a few seconds of editing. Bland, normal picture. Boom. And take a look at it. There are actually still some of these leaves in here. It did take out quite a few of them, unfortunately, but there are still some of those leaves still retained within the image. Very impressive. So again, started here, and look what we did in seconds. Very, very impressive. One more image here to show you guys, and that's just the mountain without my girlfriend in it. And let's take a look at this, because I really wanted to show you, again, sky replacement, but also how well the foliage or the landscape section really works here. So again, enhance. Let's just do it. Boom. Makes it pop. We want a new sky. Let's go to a blue sky. We haven't showed you one of those yet. And I really like these. Boom. Drops right in. Masked perfectly. So quick. So easy. I mean, it's crazy how good this software really is. How quick and how easy it is to use. So again, we can go to our landscape section. We can dehaze a little bit. We can shift it over to the golden hour if we want to. It's up to you. Foliage enhancement can be used. And you've even got more changes inside of that enhanced. And if you take a look, I'll go back here and I'll show you. If we go to the actual landscape section, you can actually go to the advanced settings and change the actual hue of the foliage if you want to. So with just a few slides, super dramatic, very effective, professional quality looking edits out of Luminar Neo. As always, thank you so much for watching the channel. Please don't forget to go down below, subscribe, click that notification bell, and I'll see you on my next video.